jobs report out. What better time was it to catch up with the U.S. Labor Secretary Marty Walsh? Here now is the first part of my conversation with him. Welcome back to the program. So joining me now with some good news for the nation is Labor Secretary Marty Walsh, and he, of course, is talking to us about the numbers, the job numbers that the President of the United States talked about earlier today, stating, Secretary Walsh, that America is moving in the right direction, that we're building back better. What do you say about these recent job numbers?
You know, these numbers this month are encouraging. They're good numbers. They're strong numbers. It shows that we still have a ways to go, though. We still have to climb out of the effects of the pandemic. The plan over the last 4 months, the president and the country has added about 540,000 new jobs per month. It shows that President Biden's economic plan is working. The largest gains that we saw this month were really in hospitality and restaurants, and also in education in the public sector. Some of the discouraging signs that we're seeing as well, though, the unemployment rate in the Black community is 9.1%. The unemployment rate in the Latino community is 7.3%. It's something certainly we're not surprised about. So as we think about the future of the economy, as President Biden talks about building back better, that's one of the main focal points that he has in his plan, is really making sure that the economy works for everyone.
So, Secretary Walsh, what can be done? What is the Biden administration doing to address the needs in the Black and brown communities, since there is such a dividing mark?
Yeah, the president has made a major investment through the rescue plan and in the American Jobs Plan that he's negotiating now into job training and workforce development. That's something that's important. Internally, we're looking at equity within each department here in the government. Here at the Department of Labor, we have a committee that's a task force that's looking at equity into contracts and also hiring. So we're working on that as a government. I think you have to look in your own house first before you can go out and talk to everyone else. So we're looking at that here at the Department of Labor, and the president has signed an executive order mandating that we all do that.
And looking at your own department, and of course trying to achieve racial equity with regard to building back America, building it back stronger and better, and also healing the soul of the nation, what's your advice to Black American business owners and how they can grow in this these tough times since the pandemic?
Yeah, first and foremost, I think anytime that I talk to business owners, I ask people to share their experiences and share your experiences and give us recommendations on how we move forward, whether it's the Department of Labor or Department of Commerce or Energy or Transportation or any of the departments. I think that's key, first and foremost. I think that's important. Also, look into the American Jobs Plan and look into the American Families Plan about these investments that are going to be big investments for American workers and for the American economy moving forward. That's what the president has laid down the foundation for. These are not in response to COVID-19. These are about laying down the future of America moving forward. It would be some of the largest investments in the last 75 years in this country.
And those investments are contingent upon what happens in Congress, as you know, and right now things seem to be stuck in the Senate. What does the president have to do, and the Biden-Harris administration need to do, to get the Senate to move this important legislation forward so that the investments can be made, not only to the Black and brown communities, but to America in total?
Yeah, you're 100% right, and it's a great question. And what we're doing is having dialogue and conversations with senators. The president has spent a lot of time himself talking to senators, both Democrats and Republicans. He's been very clear at the beginning of this. This is not about Democrats. This is not about Republicans. This is about the American workforce. This is about American companies, American people, and we're all having these dialogues. There's lots of different aspects of these two plans that we're trying to advance through the Congress and through the Senate that everyone has agreement upon. Whether I talk to a Democrat or Republican, people agree with job training and workforce development and community college. People agree with expanding broadband access across this country. Everyone agrees with clean drinking water, not drinking out of lead pipes. So there's a lot of commonality, a lot of common ground, I should say, in these two pieces of legislation. This should not be a political piece of legislation where one side blocks it because of politics. Because if you do that, the only people that are going to get hurt are the American people.